You know what I hate about a lot of modern city builders? There's just not enough human suffering. Starvation, disease, child labor. You know, all the good stuff. Luckily, I can always go back to my favorite depression simulator whenever I'm feeling a little too happy. Banished. Banished is as much a survival game as it is a city builder. It's a game that always has you anxious about the future as it constantly reminds you, hey dickhead, you're about to freeze to death. This game is not very nice to you, and there's a lot more than being frozen to worry about. If you don't plan ahead and don't provide enough food, firewood, tools and clothing for your people, then just like a real communist society, they'll all starve. Developed by one man, Banished is rather janky in some places and can prove itself a little difficult to manage, but it's strangely addicting considering what might be seen as a rather small amount of content, and despite being out for nearly 6 years now, is honestly one of my favorite city builder sandboxes. The goal of Banished is pretty straightforward: build a town without letting all of your people die. As you build up your population, you'll start building schools, farms, trade posts, and other buildings to help keep your town going along as the years roll by. While there might not be a whole lot of buildings to build in Banished, it manages to not become stale once you've made one of each. It's not a game where you will often be able to sit back and do nothing as your town prospers. It's always keeping you on your toes. Are you producing enough food to last through the winter? Are you building enough houses to keep up your growing population? Where are you gonna get iron from once your mine runs out? What are you gonna do if I just start setting your shit on fire? This is where the real challenge in Banished comes from. It's about more than just building houses. It's about expanding your struggling community from a smattering of huts to a proper flourishing town. Watching your settlement grow larger over time is incredibly satisfying, considering the stakes should you be incompetent or something go horribly wrong. But that's not to say that this game is perfect by any means, because it's far from it. The terrain generation in Banished is a pain in the dick. Buildings like mines can prove difficult to position, and there's no way to flatten uneven terrain that's blocking you from placing buildings either. And I mean, it's just kinda ugly. The way that lakes and rivers form is kinda weird and always has the same ugly ass shape, so the map generation is not something that's really going for the game. The game also only has 2 map presets, flat and mountainous, and considering how much of a pain in the ass placing buildings near uneven terrain is on this game, actively choosing to play on a mountain map is borderline psychopathic. Mods such as the Colonial Charter mod pack can fix these issues by adding new map types and ways to get around the pain in the ass map gen, but I ain't here to talk about mods. I'm here to talk about the gloriously busted up brilliance that is vanilla Banished. Looking back on this game after playing other titles like Dwarf Fortress in particular, one thing that this game is lacking is civilian variety. Citizens really aren't much more than either being a worker that is educated or uneducated, yet able to perform any profession without issue, of course. All adult citizens are is simply another number that can be assigned to a job. It'd certainly be harder to implement more civilian variety in a game like this than say RimWorld, but it would be cool if some of your citizens could stand out and be a bit more notable. And then there's the graphics. Obviously, Shining Rock Studios were going for an ultra-realistic look with this game. Like a typical city builder, it doesn't look so bad when you zoomed out, so it's best not to fly the camera too close to the ground all that often, especially when animals are crossing a river. The UI also kinda sucks. It'd be nice if UI windows were resizable or if it was just built into the top of the display, because there's basically no way to have it sitting comfortably on the screen. Another thing Banished cops a bit of criticism for is its citizen management, which can at times prove a little difficult. There's no way to directly control your citizens and you can only simply assign them in numbers to a job. However, I feel that being able to control your civilians like units in an RTS game would make it a little too easy, and it really emphasizes the importance of building placement. If you put 2 fishing docks next to each other like I did, you're gonna have a bad time. Ensuring that there are residences and stockpiles near workplaces is incredibly important in letting your town operate efficiently. 2 well-placed resource buildings will be as efficient as 4 in inefficient spots. You can't just plonk a resource building down anywhere and expect to fix your problems. The same goes for the game's stockpiles and inventory management. While it can lead to some of your citizens starving to death while their neighbor has 500 units of food stockpiled in their house, it emphasizes the importance of building placement all the more. Another pretty huge mechanic in Banished is its trading system. As you build trade posts on rivers, trading boats will eventually come and stop by, allowing you to trade your resources for whatever they have on offer. This is a great mechanic and adds another avenue of strategy to the game. If you start on hard, aka the way the game is clearly meant to be played, this is the only way you can get access to crop seeds and livestock, and can be used to purchase other resources you may be lacking. What this forces you to do is specifically set aside resources to trade away, as trading is often vital to your survival later on, particularly for crops. If you don't have farms once your population hits the 100 mark, you might as well rename your town to Budapest, cause you're gonna be a bit hungry. All in all, despite its issues and imperfections, Banished is a good ass game. It might not have hundreds of different things to build, but unlike many other city builders, it manages to keep its charm even after you have built one of everything, and has an incredibly satisfying sense of progression as you rise from a small hamlet to a bustling village. It creates a sense of urgency and a need to prepare for each year that goes by, and makes you think critically about your resources, both where you keep them and where you produce them. How unforgiving the game can be if you let things go wrong is part of what makes it so fun to watch your settlement grow. Despite the game's age and its stroke-inducing terrain generation, and despite the fact that if you beat off starvation, the cold and disease, you might just get wiped out by a tornado anyway, Banished is a great game to sink more time than you might expect into.